Good morning and welcome everyone to the Idemitsu Asia Talent Cup. You join us for round 3, the Petronas Sepang International Circuit for race 1. We are excited to get this one underway. The past couple of rounds have seen a dominant performance from Ryota Ogiwara, but it's not been easy. It's going to be a challenge once again. Now we come back to the Petronas Sepang International Circuit. Last season, Ryota put on quite a strong performance, but it was none other than Zen Matani who managed to take it away. This time, we come to the challenging Sepang International Circuit with 15 turns, 5.5 kilometers long, 2 kilometer long straights. And this turn 15 will always be the talking point. With the Idemitsu Asia Talent Cup, slipstream will play, as always, a huge factor right from the get-go. Just waiting for the riders to come around from the formation laps. Currently we have 2 races for today. Race 1 will begin at 9 AM and this is what the track looks like. 15 turns, we have 10 right turns. It's a very right-handed dominant circuit. Runs clockwise. And you can just see the riders in the background running through pit lane. It's a challenging one, this. Sepang has a mix of many different elements. One thing we're happy to see in the morning session so far is that we don't have any surprises from the weather. Occasionally, Sepang can bring the downpour as well. What we've seen in the past as well in the Idemitsu Asia Talent Cup was a 50-50 track condition where it started off looking like a wet track and then it started to get a dry line. If I recall correctly, that was in 2023. Now the riders just running through pit lane. Once again there, just having a look at Badli Ayatullah coming through the number 13. Seryu Ikegami there, coming out of pit lane. Currently sitting in second in the championship with 80 points. 4 occasions he's scored 20 points, second place. The question is whether Ryota Ogiwara is going to make it a perfect 5. Don't forget, there are a lot of riders in this championship have had previous experiences in the Sepang International Circuit. Those of which Ryota, Seryu Ikegami, Nopropong Bumprawez as well, who's third in the championship with 51 points. Francie de Quigan, another one who's racing Sepang in multiple occasions. Kim and Jae as well, the South Korean, he's another one to look out for. Considers Malaysia one of his training grounds. He often trains here before heading back to Spain. This championship is forming up quite nicely, of course. There will be eyes on some of the local riders to Malaysia. Having a good look at the likes of Adam Daniel and Shaf Muhriz. The Malaysian riders, when they come into the championships, they tend to bring something special when we come to Sepang. Qualifying yesterday, the grid. It's going to be an interesting one. The top 3. The fast Japanese riders, Ogiwara, Ikegami and Hidaka. Francie de Quigan finishing 7th fastest. Badli Ayatullah was impressive in my opinion for qualifying. Managed to go as high as 4th for qualifying. Another hot talent coming out of Indonesia is Davino Bretani. Davino Bretani, a highly rated talent who's under the Honda program in Indonesia as well. Another rider who came towards form in Qatar was Bodhi Page. Another fast young Australian who's made headlines in America. And looking to make his way onto the road to MotoGP via the Asia Talent Cup. Interesting list of riders that we have. Seen what the Asia Talent Cup can deliver. It's delivered, the graduates have delivered results at the world stage. Now midway of the season begins here in the Petronas Sepang International Circuit. Ayatollah just reaching his grid spots, and poleman Ryota Ogiwara. So he has a year extra in experience in the Asia Talent Cup aboard the NSF 250. Ryota looking like he's trying to run away with this championship. By his side though, it's none other than Sergio Ikegami. Another impressive talent coming from Japan. Starting next to Sergio Ikegami is a young rider Shingo Idaka. Shingo Idaka, another one of those young Japanese riders who just has this unique riding style about him. He's slowly making his way through a beautiful nature shot as always at the Petronas Sepang International Circuit. Ayatollah there, young talent from Indonesia. I must say the Honda program from Indonesia has been super impressive in delivering talents to the world stage. Next to Bali is Haruki Matsuyama. Haruki will be starting from 5th, and it's a long run down from the grid to turn 1, so there's a lot of slipstream that they can pull off from. Pancharok Chit Viral Shat, young rider from the Thai Honda program. Watched him in his younger days through the Thai championships, and he's definitely one to look out for. At such a young age that he's starting to already make his way to the front. Alfonso de Quigan, the Filipino representative. He'll have something to show over here in Sepang. He's very, very familiar with Sepang Alfonso. He's done a number of championships here. Nopropong Bumprao is another one I've watched through the 250s ranks. Now on to the Idemitsu Asia Talent Cup in Sepang. The weather's looking really good for this morning's race 1. It's not often you get weather this great at Sepang, but we are ready now, and this is what the grid looks like. Starting from pole will be the championship leader Ryota Ogiwara. Sergio Ikegami starts from 2nd. Completing the front row is Shingo Idaka. In row 2 will be Badli Ayatollah. In 5th, Haruki Matsuyama. In 6th, Pancharok Chitwirol Chat. Row 3 will start off with Alfonso de Quigan. In 8th, Nopropong Bumprawes. 9th, Davino Brittani. In 10th is Archie Smith from Australia. 11th is Adam Daniel, the Malaysian rider. Sharf Muhriz, another Malaysian, in 12th. 13th will be Tiran Fleming. In 14th is Mahdi Salem. 15th, Tanachut Pratumptong. 16th is Kim Min Jae. 17th, Avaro Mahendra. 18th is Ricky Henry. Nguyen Hu Tri, the Vietnamese rider, in 19th. 20th, Chen Shi-yu. And 21st, Nelson Cairol. So the riders head off now. One lap and then they'll form back up on the grid for the start of 11 laps around the 5.5-kilometer long Petronas Sepang International Circuit. Will there be a new story to tell? Will Ryota Ogiwara run away with this one? Look at last season's race over here. It was a dominant Zen Matani pulling away from the pack. Ryota Ogiwara was another really impressive rider in that field. 4 wins in the first 4 races for Ryota. 4 times on the 2nd spot for Sergio Ikegami. Bumpra was impressing when we were at the Chang International Circuit. Shingo Idaka coming to form in Qatar. With the season, things can start to change. Some riders will find a little bit more speed, a little bit more fitness. Quite a long break as well since Qatar. On tracks where he was familiar, he was very impressive in Thailand. In round 1 itself, he managed a double P5. It's his 2nd season in the Asia Talent Cup. Last season finishing 9th in the championship. This season already poised a lot better in 5th. This, of course, being the road to MotoGP. These riders will be looking to really slowly and surely make a name for themselves as they reach now turn 12 and 13. This will be another very crucial area to gain some speed. Carries a lot of roll through 12s and 13, and then you have to be quite careful in the exits of 14. It's a fast right-hand roll down the back straight. One riders form up. They come around turn 15. Turn 15 is going to be the biggest talking point for sure. There'll be a lunge from the inside. There'll be some trying to take advantage from a wider line on the outside. And then it's another run down to the start-finish line. And it's enough room actually to gain a bit of slipstream and slip past, but it all depends on the drive that they get out of turn 15. Now they just slowly roll into their grid spots. Badli Ayatullah comes onto 4th on the grid. You can see there Ryota Oiwara just taking his time to get to the number 1 spot. 11 laps around the Petronas Sepang International Circuit. Red flag is shown at the front. 5.5 kilometers. A long run down to turn 1. The medical car reaches the back of the grid. Green flag is waved. We will have 4 lights shown on top. The riders get the bikes ready, and we're off. It's a good start from 2nd on the grid by Serio Kigami, but now they're going to form up into one line as they run down into turn 1. And at the front, as of right now, it's Serio Kigami, but it's another good start from Badli Ayatullah, who's going to try and take it on the inside, and Badli Ayatullah gets into the lead, and whoa, that was a moment there for Serio Kigami, the front nearly tucking away, but into turn 2 now. And it's looking like everyone makes it through cleanly, but what a start that was from Badli Ayatullah. And at the front, he's holding on to this. Ryota did not get away well from pole position. It's going to be an interesting one. There's a lunge on the inside there. That was Serio Kigami who had a look. Ryota as well. He's going through. He's going a long way around. He's got 2nd place away from Serio, and now he's got his eyes on Badli. Oh, it's a big move. Oh, nearly off the bike there. Turn 6 was Ryota Oiwara. What an overtake. That was a beautiful move, a classic move around turn 6 in Sepang. And now Badli, he has a choice whether to just tail behind Ryota or try to slow him down a little by just giving him more pressure, showing the front wheel. They come down now into turn 9. Ryota leads the way, followed by Badli Ayatullah. And then it's Serio Ikigami. Panjaruk as well got away quite well. He's up into 4th. For now, leading the way, Ryota. After this one, we'll have 10 laps more. It's still a long way to go. Still plenty of time for things to switch about. You can see the intention from Ryota. He wants to try and pull a gap and make life a bit more difficult for everyone else. The slipstream comes a factor. Now down the back straight, Serio Kigami looking to attack early now on Badli. I think the move is coming into turn 15. Yeah, there we go. Serio Kigami gets a slip. He goes side by side with Badli Ayatullah. He's going to take a lunge. Oh, Badli nearly wanted to close the door, but Serio Kigami gets the inside line for now. This is only going to have Ryota Oiwara if he wants to try and pull a bigger gap. You can see there, it's not a huge margin that Ryota has for now. Everyone else is trying to make sure the front group doesn't run away. As of right now, the 3 front runners, they are pulling off. Oh, look at Badli there through the slipstream into turn 1. And it's a beautiful block pass there on Serio Kigami. And again, turn 1, Serio doesn't look too comfortable there. It's a good start as well from Archie Smith. He's gone up into 5th place. The local riders, Chamuris and Daniel, they are up into 11th and 15th respectively. But for now, at the front, Ryota, he's trying to pull a bit more of a gap. If it stays like this for the next few laps, we're going to have a front trio as a group, but Ryota might have a different idea. In sector 1, Badli Ayatullah was fastest. just trying to manage his pace well. This is the battle right now for second place between Serio Ikegami and Badli Ayatollah. Badli dropping down into third place. He's looking at the current positions. It's not a great start from Kim and Jays down in 17th. Muyano 3 goes up a position into 18th. As well. Still stuck in 8th place. Shingo Hidaka, he's in the group behind Ikegami and Ayatollah. As well. And that group just off the podium positions. They want to close down the gap. They'll have to make it done soon, because if these front three start getting a bit comfortable, it's going to get very tricky. Fastest sector 2 was actually recorded by Nepopon Bumprawes. So Bumprawes might find some late pace, and there goes Badli aggressive on the inside of turn 15, returning the favor to Ikegami. You can see there how tricky turn 15 is. He's just struggling a little bit for grip on the exits, and that happens with any class of racing here. And on the first flying lap that he get, the second lap in the race, 2:17.884 by Ryota Ogiwara, and there we go, Ikegami aggressive again into turn 1. And this gets interesting. It looks like the more that they battle, the more this is just going to play into Ryota Ogiwara's game. It's a good start as well from Mahdi Salem, who goes up into 12th. Good job there from Mahdi. Vino Brittani down in 10th. He does have an opportunity to try and catch up a few positions. He's in the group. And we just had a good look at Nopopon Bumprawes, number 20. So 9 laps remaining. The battle for 4th involves Haruki Matsuyama, Shingo Hidaka, and Archie Smith. Across the line on the previous lap, actually, Ogiwara's advantage was well over a second. Sector 2, Ogiwara goes even faster. He's the fastest through Sector 2. So Ryota Ogiwara putting on a show. He's, oh, look at Ikegami into turn 9, sliding the bike in. That was gorgeous. Ikegami really riding his heart out. I must say, Ryota Ogiwara is starting to look like the pattern from Zen Matani last season. The dominant Zen Matani. He is really pulling this gap. You can see the top speed deficit for Ryota. Ryota Ogiwara only clocked a 203.8 kilometers per hour down the speed trap. Everyone else nearing 210 or more. Of course, that's the factor of the slipstream. Now Badli trying to catch the slipstream of Ikegami. Ikegami's trying to pull away from that battle. I don't think Ikegami's going to be able to catch Ryota, even if he gets clear room around him, and sliding the bike into turn 15 again. Badli not close enough on this occasion to attack. You can see Badli there just around the apex, just struggling a little bit for grip, and that's just a factor of how turn 15 is shaped. It's a sharp turn, and it's cambered. On this lap, 2:17.5 from Ryota Ogiwara, and it's a lunge on the inside there from Alfonsina Quigan, and it's nicely done. Moves up a position. Roger Schmidt, the Quigan, and Shingo Hidaka having a good scrap there. That will be for top 4 points, top 4 spots. Charge for 4th. There's been plenty of shifts in positions. Notice dropping down into 12th, 6.9 away from the leader, Ogiwara. Ogiwara once again improving even further through Sector 1. He is in a league of his own as it stands. 7 and 8. It's going to be a bold place to try and make an overtaking maneuver. Badli now looking to try and make a move at turn 9. Not close enough on this occasion. Just there was Archie Schmidt. He thought of trying to lunge in at turn 9. In Sepang, you have plenty of opportunities to overtake. You have turn 1, turn 4, even the switch back from 5 to 6. Turn 7's a bit of a bold spot to make a move, but turn 9's another prime overtaking place. Battle for fourth commences and continues. Haruki Matsuyama holding on, and it's a nice lunge on the inside by Alfonso de Kriegen, using that extra rolling speed, and now he gets on the gas, but very quickly slipstream's going to come in from Matsuyama, and he's just going to blitz past. For now, it looks visually almost as if Ikegami and Tula are catching up with Oiwara. We're going to see what the gap is as he comes across the line, and on the inside there once again is Alfonso de Kriegen taking a really tight line into turn 15. That's a tricky one to do, but of course Alfonso has quite a bit of experience at Sepang. And the gap, the guys extended still, it's 1.6 across the line between Oiwara and Ikegami. But he looks like he's just trying to manage his pace, he's not trying to make anything rash yet. Oh, and on the inside, Shingo Hidaka makes a move, moves up the position. This is a good battle this for P4 between these 5 riders. Between Alfonso de Kriegen, Shingo Hidaka, Nokokong Bumprawers, and Archie Schmidt. It's turn 4 now. You can see he's not trying to make any moves, and on the inside, Shingo Hidaka is looking. It's not close enough. Turn 4 goes a bit uphill at the Sepang International Circuit, so you can't really brake late going in. All the way through turn 5 into turn 6. 7 laps remaining. Championship-wise, should the checkered flag be pulled out right now, Ryota Ogiwara would have a nice 125 points, 5 out of 5. And Seiryu Ikegami would have 100 points, so the gap then would be extended to just 25 points. This is currently the battle for second between Seiryu Ikegami and Batli. And it's interesting, it looks like Batli's just holding back a little, but maybe he's just struggling as well to keep up with Seiryu Ikegami. As the sun comes out, you can see the sun pouring through the clouds here at Sepang. Looks like Alfonso that's trying to make a breakaway from it. It looks like Alfonso does have quite a bit of a gap at the front of this group. But will it be enough? I don't think for certain. Matsuyama's not going to let this one run away. And you can see there again. It looks like the gap between Ikegami and Banli is increasing into turn 15. Now we look at the battle for P4. No one has a look on the inside, and it was a bit of a moment there for Archie Schmidt on the braking. Nearly lost the front, but managed to hold on well. Now the gap across the line now, it's actually reducing. Seiryu Ikegami is starting to close down the gap to Ryota Ogiwara, and Badli goes on the inside of Ikegami with the slipstream, but he goes wide on the braking, and Ikegami is going to take second place back away from him. But this is interesting now. Ogiwara is not able to really pull away in this nearly second half of the race. And with 6 laps remaining, that should be enough time for Ikegami and Bali to actually eat away at the gap, 1 lap at a time. I think Ogiwara has also noticed it, so he's starting to push through sector 1. For it's an intense one. And he's sent him across the line. Has gone up into 9th, and just coming into pit lane was Alvaro Mahendra, so he's looks like he might have some bike issues there, unfortunately, for the young Indonesian. So right now Ryota Ogiwara tries to pull this gap further. Bali not attacking on this lap yet. It looks like the battle for P4 as well has simmered down a little, and there's Alvaro Mahendra. He's going to go back out, just get a bit more mileage and a bit more information in the data and prepare for race 2. For now, the battle for P4. It doesn't look like anyone's making any aggressive maneuvers just as yet. Just as I say it, Haruki Matsuyama's starting to look like he wants to have a taste of the front. He just holds on to the rear wheel of Shingo Hidaka. Facing the Krieger on this lap as well, he's probably just trying to manage the pace. Prioritize the final lap battle. It's too far to fight for the front three spots, but on the inside there, aggressive is Alfonsi de Krieger. So it seems that Alfonsi's main advantage will be at turn 15. He seems very, very confident to leave it super, super late on the brakes. Take a nice tight line. You see this battle for P4. Behind them, Chan leading the charge. We're coming through is Mahdi Salim. Oh, goes aggressive on the inside under braking into turn 1. Mahdi goes up into P9. Nice clean maneuver. Mahdi Salim, the young Palestinian. 5 laps remaining. We've crossed. We're about to cross halfway through this race. The battle is not over yet, but across the line on the previous lap, the gap between Ryota Ogiwara and Seiryu Ikegami, I thought it was closing down, but Ryota has extended it to 2.5 seconds. Will that be enough of a buffer for Ryota Ogiwara for now? This is a large group battling here. The highest that they can achieve for this group will be P9 as it stands. He's not going to let this one go easily. See that just coming across our screens, the battle for P4, and now it's a battle for P8. Leading charge, Chiguro Chadan on the inside. I had a look on the inside was Pratuntong. Davide Brittani, the young Indonesian as well, he's in this battle. Pancharup now just trying to manage this. It's not going to be easy. Everyone's going to have a look on the inside of turn 15. It's a prime overtaking opportunity there. And it will always be tempting for any rider. And on the inside there, turn 14, that's a nice move. Oh, but it's wide, it's Shamuriz. Shamuriz, the Malaysian rider, tries to make an overtake, but it goes wide and loses plenty of drive out of turn 14. But at the front here, this is an interesting battle. Look at that. Coming through is Alfonsi de Krieger. He goes to the front of this group. That was aggressive, and it was earlier than I expected from him. So he might leave it for the last 2 laps, but he's not. At the front, the gap still about the same 2.5. Oh, Ikegami nearly losing it there. We've seen this a number of times at turn 1. Ikegami just unable to really gain the benefit there at turn 1 under late braking. Tends to make a bit of an error. He's going to have a look at this and think that he's looking a lot more comfortable around Sepang, but Ikegami responds immediately into turn 4 out of turn 3. Just looking back at a replay of what happened out of turn 4 into turn 5. 4 laps remaining. Ogiwara's gap of 2.8 now gets further and further for Ryota. You can see how he tried to get the early advantage, manage his pace mid-race, and then starts to push towards the end. It's very Zen Mitani-esque. Ryota doing it in his own style. Now there's the battle again for P4. Alfonsi. The challenge for Alfonsi is whether or not he can really fend off riders trying to take the inside line into turn 15. The way he's been confident with his car line, I think he might fancy just leading this group into that final lap. He's really able to set any fast laps the past couple of laps. The best lap from Ryota Ogiwara early on in the race. This group there. You can see Archie Schmidt hasn't really shown a front wheel yet ever since that error into turn 15, but he's been there. Oh, and that's unfortunate. That's Alvaro Mahendra who's come back in. Alvaro Mahendra, he'll have to sit the rest of race 1 out. So he's frustrated. Looks like an issue with the brakes for him. And immediately to his front brakes. But for now, it's a look on the inside for Badli Ayatollah, but not close enough on this occasion. Serio Kigami closing the door. So for Badli, with 3 laps remaining, he looks very calm and composed. Serio Kigami, on the other hand, has had quite a number of moments. Getting the gap across the line somehow. Ryota Ogiwara has pulled 4 seconds away. Everyone else has been lapping in the 219s and 220s. The entire grid has been lapping around 219s and 220s, but Ryota Ogiwara has managed to lap consistently 217s. It's unbelievable, the consistency and the pace that Ryota Ogiwara has. And Badli Ayatollah does come across Serio Kigami into turn 7. That was a very brave maneuver, blocking Serio's line. Now they come to turn 9. Serio Kigami has to look behind. There's no one that he can see there yet. So he knows that the battle is just between the pair of them. And maybe, just maybe, Serio Kigami is just thinking about the championship. Might be worth it not to make a big error if he is struggling a little bit on the bike. Just take home 16 points for race 1. Try it again in race 2. For now, at the front for the battle for P4 is Alfonsi de Quigan. Shingo Hidaka right behind him. Alfonso, you can see he's playing these lines really, really wide. No problem, Bumpra Wesios. Finds him a look at the inside into turn 12, but that would have been really tricky to stick. Alfonso now, he leads the way into turn 14. Down the back straight, Archie Schmidt is there with them. And at the front, the battle for P2. Badli has a look on the inside. I think Badli's just measuring where he can really take advantage. And that really would have been a bit of a rehearsal for the final lap between these two. 2 laps to go. The gap across the line is 6.7. Ryota Ogiwara with a 218.1 on that lap. Serio Kigami, a bit defensive line there into turn 1. The battle for P4. Alfonsi gets swamped by Slipstream. Not Propon Prowes leads the way for this group for the battle for P4. Shingo Hidaka won't be trying to find a spot to overtake. I'm just starting to wonder whether Archie Schmidt has found a section where he fancies an opportunity the most. He's always been with this group. He's just not really attacked just of yet. Not Propon Prowes leads the battle for P4 into turn 4. So look on the inside there by Shingo Hidaka. Oh, it's a nice move on the inside there. It was Matsuyama who took the inside line into turn 5. And Alfonsi. As of right now, no Pupong. He leads this battle, and indeed it is Matsuyama who's made his way up. So Matsuyama saves a bit. Ooh, I thought it was going to be a lunge on the inside by Badli Ayatollah. No Pupong. Bumpra is already playing a bit of a defensive move into turn 9. Another rider with plenty of experience in Sepang. He tries to gain the most points that he can. 13 points up for grabs for the battle in this group. Bumpra West as well. He's 3rd in the championship, so this will be important for him. Especially Badli Ayatollah scoring for the 2nd and 3rd positions. And for now, forward down the back straight, you can see the gap there between Ryota Ogiwara, Nikigami as well as Badli Ayatollah. And then the battle for P4. This will be the final rehearsal for the final lap into turn 15. And on the inside, there's Shingo Hidaka. And Archie Schmidt, you can see there, now he's trying to go a bit more aggressive. That was practice for Archie for the next lap. This is the one where it counts. The final lap for the Idemitsu Asia Talent Cup in round 3 of the Petronas Sepang International Circuit. For round 1, the battle for second place between Ikegami and Ayatullah. Badly not looking to make a move at turn 1. Now you just have to raise the question of, will he do it at turn 15 or will he try earlier? The gap across the line, it was another 2:17 from Ryota Oiwara. The gap was 9.948, nearly 10 seconds. And into turn 4, we followed the battle for the final podium spots. Badly has a look on the inside, doesn't make a move yet. Now the battle for P4, leading the charge as Nopropong Bumprawes into turn 4. A nice inside line Nopropong managed to take. Looking inside, Fonsi looks for the inside line to turn 5, and aggressive that was by Matsuyama. Tried to replicate the same move from the previous lap, but unable to on this occasion. Nopropong trying to pull a little bit of a gap into turn 7. It's not going to be easy. It's going to come down to the slipstream into turn 15, but at the front for the battle for the podium spots, Ikegami still holding on strong. Badly just waiting for the opportunity, but it looks like a bit of a gap. Ikegami's advantage seems to be in sector 2 and sector 3, uphill after turn 9. And Badly might just be too far away at this point unless he can close the gap down into turn 14. Ikegami gives everything now on the final few turns, and he's pulled the gap. He's pulled a significant gap. I think this will be just enough for Ikegami, but victorious at the Petronas Sepang International Circuit is going to be the man on screen now. Ryota Oiwara, the championship leader. He's going to make it 5 out of 5 in 2025. And there we have it, winner in race 1, Ryota Oiwara. Oh, what a ride that was for Ryota, and yes, ultimately, Badly was unable to close down the gap. And second place will be Seiryo Ikegami and Badly Ayatullah. What a performance for him, but what about P4? Leading the charges, Nopropong Bumprawes. And in 5th was Haruki Matsuyama, Shingo Inaka in 6th. Alfonsi, what a battle he put on, but he finishes 7th. Archie Schmidt finished 8th. Mahdi Salim comes across in 9th. Chidwiro Chat in 10th. Davino Brittani, the young Indonesian, in 11th. Tanachat Pratumtong in 12th. Shav Mudra is a young Malaysian in 13th, unable to close down the gap. Darren Fleming in 14th. Adam Daniel 15th. Ricky Henry 16th. Kim and Jae, the South Korean, he finishes 17th. And Nguyen Hu Tri, P18. But my, oh my, what a ride by Ryota Oiwara. And after race 1, he collects a grand total of 125 points. And he extends his championship lead to 25 points now over Seiryo Ikegami. Seiryo Ikegami, after race 1, will have a grand total of 100 points. So his championship hopes are still very much alive, and if that last lap has anything to go by, he could really make a difference in race 2 later on this afternoon. Just needs to make sure that Ryota Oiwara does not run away early on. What a brilliant ride it was from Ryota. We saw the talent from Ryota last season here in Sepang, and we see it once again, this time in much more dominant form, and going on the grass a bit there just before turn 9. Badly Ayatullah, what a ride this was for him, for his first podium of the season. Badly came close in Qatar in race 1, managing P4, but this time he makes no mistake and finishes well on the podium. Maybe that's what it was for Badly as well. Maybe he thought it wouldn't make sense to take too much of a risk in race 1 yet and ruin the chances for race 2. Now he knows that he has the pace for the podium here in Sepang. He has another opportunity to do it all over again later on in just a few hours. Oh, so many stories to tell in there. It's a wheelie there from Badly, struggling to get it up. More wheelies all around. Archie Schmidt, young Aussie, celebrating what was also a good race for him. Oh, it takes your breath away, this. The battles for P2, the battles for P4. Race 1 finishes in dry conditions. And I say that only because Sepang can always bring a bit of a surprise. We got a few hours until race 2, but that's enough time for the weather to take a shift around here. The riders roll into pit lane. You can see Ryota Ogiwara stands up on his bike. What a dominant season this has been so far for Ryota. And a dominant race as well. 9 seconds the gap was across the line. Smiles and handshakes all around for Ryota. 125 points he collects after race 1. 25 points, the gap between fellow Japanese rider Seiryu Kigami, who's right next to him in 2nd place. As a light breeze comes across turn 15 at the Sepang International Circuit, this is what the results look like for race 1. Ryota Ogiwara completing the race. 9 seconds was the gap between him and Seiryu Kigami in 2nd. Completing the podium is Badli Ayatullah. Nopropon Mumprawas, what a ride it was from the Thai rider in 4th. Haruki Matsuyama trying his best to take advantage in turn 5, but finishes 5th. Shingo Edaka 6th. Alfonsi de Quigan 7th. Archie Schmidt 8th. Madi Salim, the young Palestinian, in 9th. 10th is Pancharuk Chitwirul Chat. Finishing 11th, the young Davino Brittani from Indonesia. Tanachat Pratumtong in 12th. Shah Muris, the Malaysian, in 13th. Tyrion Fleming, the young Thai, in 14th. Adam Daniel 15th. Ricky Henry 16th. Kim Min Jae, the South Korean, in 17th. Nguyen Hu 3 in 18th. And Nelson Kairoli finishing 19th. Chen Shiyu in 20th. And with a DNF in this one, retiring from the race was Alvaro Mahendra. 21 riders for race 1, the Idemitsu Asia Talent Cup, round 3 of the Petronas Sepang International Circuit. Blue skies have appeared. It's always a nice sign to see in Sepang. It does mean that if it stays this way, if it remains, we're going to see scorchingly hot track temperatures. That's where a bit of management of pace will really come into play. Managing the tires as well all throughout the 11 laps. You see the heat haze across pit lane from the camera position. Plenty of stories to tell after race 1. I must say the real impressive one for me was Badli Ayatullah. From the get-go, he was strong. Finishing on the podium for the first time this season, that's a strong achievement for the midway points of the season.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for the
We head now to the podium ceremony for the Idemitsu Asia Talent Cup.
Round 3, race 1.
After race 1,
Now, let us welcome all the winners to the podium.
and in 3rd place is the young Indonesian Badli Ayatullah.
2nd place,
Celebrates his first podium of the 2025 season. In 2nd place, Seiryu Kigami for the 5th time this season.
Ryota Ogiwara from Japan.
But victorious 5 out of 5, the young Japanese Ryota Ogiwara. And you can see how much this one meant to him.
I would like to invite Mr. Tam Hyuk Wei to
Excellent
present
pace
the
management by
Petronas
Ryota.
Sepang International Circuit to hand the trophy to our 3rd place.
To present the trophies, our guest is Mr. Tam HH, General Manager of the operations of Petronas Sepang International Circuit. He was the 3rd prize award to Badli Ayatullah.
And big applause for race 1
Second
winner.
for Seryu Ikigami. Victorious now, once again this season, Ryota Ogiwara.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the national anthem of Japan.
Now the national anthem of Japan. What a show race 1 was. What a ride by Ryota Ogiwara. Seryu Ikigami as well, and Bali Ayatollah for his maiden podium. The best part is we get to do this all over again later on for race 2 at the Petronas Sepang International Circuit. Official pictures now for the podium ceremony. You see big smiles there as well for Badley. And as they take photos and celebrate their victories, we're going to have a look at the highlights of what happened in race 1.
Thank you to our presenter and congratulations to all the winners.
Right from the start, it was a good getaway from Seryu Ikigami. Ryota looked like he struggled to get off the line. And Bali Ayatollah jumping into the lead right from the very get-go into turn 1. And this is where the battle commenced. Ryota started to pull away and Bali had a few looks on the inside. Turn 1 going off wide, but Ikigami as well, he struggled a lot there. Seemed to be a common struggle between the battle for P2. You could see how much slide Ikigami was putting in into turn 1 and just unable to get the bike turned in. Bali was really looking at the opportunities to try and get a higher position. Ryota Ogiwara pulled the gap early on. He managed to pace midway and then extended it in a great way. He was the only one who was consistent in the 217s and victorious for 5 times in a row in 2025. Ryota Ogiwara.